Nintendo's Switch is living proof of the fact that big joy often comes in a small package. And with over 146 million units sold, it's also the third best-selling console of all time, surpassed only by the legendary Nintendo DS and the PlayStation 2. However, on January 16, 2025, Nintendo announced the Switch 2, which, despite initial perceptions of lacking innovation, actually includes several new features. This isn't a revolutionary change, but an upgrade aimed at addressing previous issues and enhancing gaming experiences. So get ready, cause today we're having a look at the top 10 confirmed facts about the Nintendo Switch 2.
Super Players.
Number 10. First, let's talk about the size of this thing. From the official reveal trailer, it's clear that the Switch 2 has been enlarged by about 25 to 30% when compared to its predecessor. Nintendo even emphasizes this increase in size through their CG animation, in which they take a regular Switch, scale it up, and add redesigned Joy-Cons to the side. But exactly how much larger is the Switch 2? Well, preliminary leaks suggested a screen size of 8 to 8.4 inches, and while we don't know the exact numbers just yet, it does seem to line up with the dimensions showcased in Nintendo's trailer. At one point in the trailer, you can see both consoles held side by side, and it does look like the Switch 2 will have an 8-inch display. For reference, the regular Switch has a 6.2-inch screen, while the OLED model pumps it up to 7 inches. But 8? That's truly massive, putting the Switch 2 on par with handheld PC giants such as the Lenovo Legion Go. Of course, Nintendo hasn't provided any official confirmation on this just yet, but people have been comparing the CG renders with images of the OG Switch. And let's just say it isn't that hard to draw some lines on a screen and do some basic math. Next up at interesting fact number 9, we've got the potential mouse mode. Now, this is not something that Nintendo has explicitly stated in their reveal trailer, but why say something when you can show it instead? Here, take a look at these two Joy-Cons scurrying around with their wrist straps flailing behind them like little mouse tails. Looks pretty similar to a computer mouse, doesn't it? If you freeze the video at just the right moment, you'll also notice a brand new sensor that wasn't there before. This looks a lot like the optical sensor that you'd find at the bottom of computer mice, and combined with the new rubber pads at the bottom of the Joy-Cons, it could suggest a secondary operation mode, in which you slide your Joy-Con on the table or the couch like you would a mouse. Nintendo also showed off another feature that we don't see a lot of people talking about, and that is the brand new kickstand. While everybody is focused on the display and the Joy-Con enhancements, few are paying attention to what we believe is one of the most underrated aspects of this new Switch design. While this kickstand doesn't seem as solid and sturdy as the Switch OLED kickstand, it does feel like a massive upgrade over the default Switch kickstand, which was tiny and offset to the side. There's more stuff to look forward to, because the Switch 2 also seems to have magnetically locking Joy-Cons. With the OG Switch, you had to slide your Joy-Cons down these plastic side rails that didn't feel very sturdy, and as a result, whenever you tried to get a firm grip on your Switch, it would generate this weird flexing motion around the edges. It didn't feel all that good for what was supposed to be a premium product from one of the world's top console manufacturers. But now, with the redesigned Joy-Con slot, it appears that Nintendo has done away with the flimsy rail system and is instead going forth with magnetic lockup. Speaking of Joy-Cons, you can see that the new ones retain most of the old functionality and have a familiar control layout, but the color scheme has been changed and the buttons themselves are bigger. The analog sticks are still low profile, but with a slightly reworked crown for better grip. There's also a new unlabeled button beneath the home button that fans are calling the C button. This could be a share button for in-game chat, a stream and record button for capturing gameplay, or something completely different that we don't yet know about. The player LEDs have also been relocated to a front-facing position, so now everybody knows at all times which controller they're holding. You don't have to take off the grip and peek at the side of the controller like you did with the old Joy-Cons. All of this looks amazing. Let's just hope that Nintendo have also fixed the infamous stick drift issues. Maybe even a new Hall effect sensor? I guess we'll just have to wait and see when the Switch 2 is finally out. Now remember, this video is only about confirmed details, so we won't delve too much into the whole NVIDIA DLSS and ray tracing feature suite, But it is confirmed that the Switch 2 will have a new NVIDIA SoC. For those of you who don't know what an SoC is, it's basically the CPU, GPU, I/O, and memory controllers all combined into one chip. The same thing that you'd find in a mobile phone. Anyways, the important thing about all of this is that the new NVIDIA chip has twice the number of CPU cores as the old Tegra X1, and these are also going to be clocked higher, if we're to believe the leakers. For fact number 4, let's talk about the backward compatibility, something that Nintendo actually confirmed in their trailer. They mentioned that the Switch 2 will be fully capable of playing Switch 1 games in addition to its own next-gen exclusives, which, again, doesn't come as a surprise because the two run on very similar hardware. Both use ARM processors with NVIDIA graphics, and both are likely to share an operating system based on the same kernel. But right now, it is confirmed that you can play both physical and digital copies of your original Switch games on the new Switch 2. Switch 2 will also come with its own exclusives that take advantage of the extra processor power and redesigned Joy-Cons. One of these games is confirmed to be a new Mario Kart, which we can see in the trailer. The game showcases the Mario Bros. Circuit, which looks like something out of a rally race in the US, and it definitely has a desert vibe going on with some sandy trails and rocky mountains. But more importantly, we can see that there is support for up to 24 players on the starting grid, which is insane, since Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the OG Switch only supported 12 players in LAN mode. That's probably still more than what most people can manage. There is also a new USB Type-C port on the bottom of the Switch 2, in addition to the regular charging and docking port. This is good news, because it might mean support for display out without the need for a dock. And it also means that you can attach more than one accessory to your Switch without being forced to invest in clunky and overpriced USB dongles. In the trailer, we can also see that the new speakers are bottom firing, which should allow for much better audio compared to the OG Switch, which has rear-firing speakers. And now for the final item on our list, we've got a new trigger next to the regular triggers that serves a very specific purpose. When you push these horizontally aligned triggers, they seem to activate a spring-loaded plunger that pushes the Joy-Con out of its slot and lets you pull it away with ease. So you can just push it in to attach and pull away to detach in one smooth, continuous motion that feels intuitive and seamless. Plus, there's no danger of accidentally detaching your controller because you must push the side-mounted triggers to deactivate the magnetic lock. And there you have it, guys, our top 10 most interesting facts about the Switch 2 reveal that are confirmed to be true. Hope you learned something new, and we'll see you again in our next video.
Super players.